Discover the incredible touching stories of 20 heartwarming love practices hidden in ancient Egypt. Jack Reynolds stood outside his small auto shop, the sun dipping low on the horizon, painting the sky in strokes of orange and pink. The familiar sounds of the town children laughing, neighbors chatting, and the distant hum of the diner wrapped around him like a warm blanket. He felt it in his bones. This place, his home, was more than bricks and mortar. It was love, family, and dreams sewn deeply into the very fabric of American life. At 35, Jack was more than a mechanic, he was a lifeline for his community. His loyal hands fixed anything from rusty old trucks to beloved family cars, all while ensuring his young daughter, Lily, and wife, Sarah, were cared for. Every Saturday, they would spend the day together, playing in the backyard or baking pies that filled their home with sweet memories. But Jack harbored a dream one day. He wanted to own his own shop, a place where his talent could shine and provide stability for his family. One day, that dream felt precarious. News fluttered around the town like a chill wind. An affluent couple had driven into this struggling Midwestern town with plans to buy the land where Jack's shop sat. Jack's heart sank. How could they take away something built on years of hard work and community love? The unyielding pressure weighed heavily on his chest as he thought of his family and the legacy he wanted to protect. Before he could fully process the news, the backyard fence creaked and neighborly chats turned into whispers of anxiety. The local diner buzzed with worried faces over coffee, chuckling laughter now strained with apprehension. Jack saw the familiar dark clouds gather over his town's spirit. They were wrestling with economic disparity, and Jack's fears mirrored theirs. Just as uncertainty loomed, Lily climbed down from the attic, buzzing with excitement, holding something glimmering. It was a locket, untarnished by time, worn but beautiful. Inside, a faded photograph and a note whispered of their ancestors' journey to America, a story of determination and hope. As she shared the discovery, tears brimmed in Jack's eyes. Memories enveloped them both, reminding them of what family meant, of the love that built their roots. Fueled by a newfound sense of purpose, Jack reported for duty. It's time to talk to them, he told himself, steeling his resolve. Maybe he could sway the couple into considering the community's needs, a chance to change the course of a family legacy. But as he confronted them, their aloofness cut deep. Business over family, profit over roots. Jack felt his heart crack a little. This wasn't just about him, it was about every soul in the town who felt displaced. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Fueled by pain and determination, Jack organized a town meeting. The energy was electric as neighbors shared their fears. Each voice echoed the heart of the small town, revealing their dreams, their hopes. Just when he felt the beacon of solidarity grow stronger, betrayal crackled in the air. A neighbor he trusted stood against him, shaking the foundation of support he sought to build. With fierce urgency, Jack stood at a precipice. Could they reclaim their heritage, stand firm against the weight of money and privilege? Questions hung heavy in the air as his heart raced, unbroken yet uncertain. What would the community do when faced with the harsh truth of economic inequality? The spirit of America surged within them, leaving Jack at a crossroads. Would love end? Unity prevail, or would the shadows of wealth swallow their fight? As the meeting concluded, an uneasy silence settled over the crowd. Jack's heart pounded in his chest. He felt the weight of their gazes, saw the flickers of doubt cross their faces. They were counting on him, but could he really lead them against such formidable opposition? Every voice that echoed in that room lulled him into a deeper worry, especially the words of Harold, the neighbor he had once seen as a friend. "You don't understand our situation, Jack," Harold had said, his tone sharp like a blade. "This isn't a fight we can win. It's just business. They want what they want." Jack had felt the betrayal sting like ice water in his veins. Leaves rustled outside, and the wind brushed through the old trees, but inside, the room felt stagnant, thick with resignation. Everyone seemed lost in their own thoughts, grappling with visions of what could be. He couldn't let that fear settle, they needed a way forward. "We need hope," Jack declared, raising his voice above the murmur. "We need to believe in what we built, together. We can find a way." A wave of energy rippled through the crowd. He saw a few heads nodding, faces brightening just a bit. But still, some gazes flicked to the floor, glued to the uncertainties swirling in their hearts. Was Jack offering false hope? Was it all a dream built on shaky ground? As he drove home that night, the cool air cooled his burning cheeks. He thought about the locket Lily had found. Their ancestors had faced obstacles too, had journeys marked by struggle and grit. This wasn't just about retaining land, it was about their heritage. Families made sacrifices for love and community every day. Wasn't that what he was fighting for? Lily was still awake when he got home, bouncing with energy as children often do. She ran up to him, eyes bright and a smile wide. "Daddy, can we plant a tree tomorrow? One that can grow really big?" Jack smiled. "Absolutely, sweet pea. A magical tree." As he tucked her into bed, her small fingers clutched the locket, and she whispered, "Will it be strong like us?" Jack felt his heart swell. "It will be even stronger," he replied, kissing her forehead, promising her the stories of their family, their roots would live on through that tree. He could feel the weight of yesterday's struggles transform into something else, a determination not just for himself, but for her, for Sarah, and for everyone who believed in something more meaningful. The next morning, Jack rushed to the shop. He had a plan. He would gather stories from their neighbors, the history buried beneath the town nobody ever talked about anymore. Those tales of love, sacrifice, and hope would be the foundation upon which they could stand firm against the corporate juggernaut looming over them. As he engaged with each person, gathering their legacies, inspiration flowed through him. Each story was a thread weaving together a fabric of resilience. Jack rallied the town to host a festival, celebrating their journeys, their dreams. They would unite under the banner of shared history, the very heart that had built their community, but dark clouds still loomed on the horizon. Just as momentum began to pulse through the town, Jack found an unexpected message waiting at the shop, an ultimatum from the affluent couple, demanding his resignation from the property. A ticking clock now hung over their efforts. Could this new unity withstand the pressure? Would their love and history be enough to fend off the storm? Jack sensed that the next few days would define everything they stood for. As he left the shop, ready to confront the challenges ahead, he wondered, what was the true price of his family's legacy? The answer would unveil itself soon enough. The sun rose with a golden hue, spilling light over the quaint town as Jack stood outside the shop, feeling the weight of his resolve. Today was the day. The day he would show everyone that their collective memories had power. That together, they could face the looming threat. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes for a moment, and envisioned the festival laughter, music, and the warmth of community revitalizing spirits that had begun to wane. Jack stepped inside to find Sarah unpacking supplies. She smiled at him, a comforting sight. "Ready for today?" she asked, her voice steady. He nodded, determination surging through him. "We need to show everyone what we can do together. Today isn't just about the festival. It's about our community's fight to reclaim our dreams." As the sun climbed higher, neighbors began trickling in. Each story contributed an essential thread to the tapestry Jack envisioned. Mrs. Thompson shared tales about her grandmother, who had stood against a corrupt mayor to keep her land. Mr. Jenkins recalled the struggles of his parents, who built their brick-and-mortar business from nothing, working endless nights. Each voice that joined theirs felt like a brick laid on a structure of hope. The atmosphere thickened as the festival unfolded. Homemade baked goods lined the tables, vibrant decorations swayed gently in the breeze, and children filled the air with joyous laughter. Jack's heart raced as he watched the townsfolk mingle, sharing stories and bonding. They were becoming a family again. Just as Jack felt a sense of victory swelling, the door swung open, and an unexpected figure entered Harold. Jack's stomach churned. What was he doing here? The man had made clear his belief that their fight was futile. "Jack," Harold called out, raising a hand as he approached. The crowd hushed, tension swirling like a storm cloud. "Here to gloat." Jack's voice held a hint of challenge. Harold sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. "Actually, no. I came to listen. I realized I might have been too quick to judge. It's clear this matters to everyone. To you." Jack studied Harold's face. There was humility there, perhaps even regret. "Are you willing to stand with us?" Jack asked, finding himself torn between skepticism and a spark of hope. Harold nodded, though he seemed unsure. "I don't have the answers, but maybe I can help rally a few more folks just to hear what you've been gathering." A glimmer of surprise crossed Jack's face. If Harold was willing to join, who else might follow? Suddenly, a flicker of doubt seemed to lift from the group. Jack felt it, an electric current of potential, charging through the room. As the sun dipped lower, casting a warm glow around them, someone laughed. It was frankly contagious, and soon everyone joined in, filling the room with sound and light. The story sharing continued, helping to lay the foundation for something massive, a united front against the impending devastation. They were ignited with purpose, but as the jovial atmosphere lifted hearts, Jack caught movement at the edge of the gathered crowd. The affluent couple, their faces frozen in disapproval. What would they do next? Their presence was a stark reminder of the threat still looming over them. As tension mounted, Jack absorbed the energy surrounding him. The crowd rallied, anchored by their shared narratives. It wasn't just about fighting anymore. It was about hope, affirming love, the bonds of community, and embracing the past. Could this moment of acceptance be enough to counter the challenge they faced? Jack knew the fight had only just begun, and the real test would arrive soon. He stepped forward, gathering the courage to face it all head-on. The festival wasn't merely a celebration, it was a launch pad for a movement, a calling for change, but deep down, Jack wondered, was their newfound strength truly enough to stand against the storm brewing just beyond their reach? The answers were about to unfold. The laughter hung in the air, but beneath it, a current of uncertainty crackled. Jack could feel the weight of the affluent couple's gaze boring into him and the others. They were the ones who had pushed for a new hotel to replace the park, a decision that snuffed out so many cherished memories. Would they try to disrupt what was happening here? He glanced around. Sarah's eyes met his, a mixture of concern and encouragement. She had been his anchor through so much. "Let us take this one step at a time," she whispered, giving him a reassuring nod. With that, Jack took a breath and made his way to the front of the room. The crowd began to settle down, curiosity piqued. "Thank you all for being here," he began, his voice steadier than he felt. "Today isn't just about stories or baked goods, it's about us. It's about standing together against anything that threatens what we've built." A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. Each face in the room was a reflection of the history they shared, the dreams they still held. He paused, scanning their expressions. "We've faced challenges before. We've lost things. But we've also rebuilt with love, with laughter, with memories that bind us together. Trust in that." Harold stepped forward suddenly, eyes wide. "Jack's right. I've seen it in my own life, the way this community pulls together. If we let our stories ripple out, we might reach more than just ourselves. Maybe we can get folks who've just been sitting on the sidelines to listen." The energy in the room shifted. People nodded, their murmurs growing louder. There was something magical about this moment, a blending of voices, an acceptance of interdependence. As the stories continued to flow, Jack noticed one of the children, little Lily, standing quietly at the edge of the crowd. Her tiny hands clasped a piece of paper tightly. The determination etched across her face reminded him of how each voice, no matter how small, contributed to the chorus of change. Lily, he called gently, beckoning her forward. The room hushed as she stepped into the light, tiny feet shuffling nervously. "What's on your mind?" With a deep breath, she held out her paper. "I drew a picture," she said, her voice quaking slightly. "It's south of our park. I want everyone to see it." As she unveiled her drawing, a collective awe swept through the crowd. The vibrant colors of trees, swings, and children playing depicted a future they all longed for. A future that felt threatened now. Jack's heart swelled. "That," he gestured toward the drawing, "is what we protect. That is our future." Emotions flooded the room. Parents looked at each other, tears brimming in some eyes, pride in others. The affluent couple's faces were pale, their disapproval beginning to crack under the weight of the community's resolve. Suddenly, a voice from the back broke through the tension. "We can't let them take our dreams." The cry echoed as others began to chant in unison, "Our dreams. Our park." Jack felt adrenaline surge. This was it. The energy was shifting, igniting a fire. Yes. Together we can be heard. Together we can fight back. The room erupted, cheers mingling with laughter, a swell of unity sweeping over them. Yet amidst the joy, an unsettling thought crept back into Jack's mind: what kind of retaliation might come from the couple who stood opposed. As the festival carried on, vibrant and alive, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that the real showdown was still ahead. The momentum felt palpable, but the stakes were rising. With the echoes of laughter surrounding him, Jack glanced at the couple near the door, their expressions darkening. Would they take action to snuff out this spirit? The moment felt charged, a calm before a tempest, and as Jack braced himself for what was to come, he wondered, could their growing strength withstand the darkness lurking just beyond the horizon? The air crackled with a mix of hope and tension. As Jack swept his gaze across the crowd, he could see the exhilaration painted on many faces. Laughter and cheers mingled with whispers of concern. They felt it too, the looming shadows cast by the affluent couple who had stirred the pot of conflict. Though the moment felt alive, the threat of impending confrontation loomed heavy. "Let's keep this energy going," Jack shouted, trying to rally the crowd. People cheered again, but he sensed that beneath their enthusiasm, some were still trepidatious. Harold took the stage next, his hands flailing slightly as he spoke. "This park isn't just dirt and grass. It's memories, family picnics, kids playing tag, and summer concerts. It's the heart of our neighborhood." His voice thundered, drawing more cheers from the audience. Jack felt his conviction swell with every passing minute. They were in this together. But as he watched Harold passionately ignite the room, his thoughts darted back to the couple. Were they already plotting a way to dismantle the spirit that had surged today? Before he could voice his doubts, Lily's small figure stepped up beside Harold. "Wait!" she exclaimed, her little voice rising above the raucous crowd. All eyes turned to her, curiosity etched on every face. "And what about the secret tunnels?" The crowd erupted in laughter, confusion mingling with amusement at her sudden proclamation. Jack raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "What secret tunnels, Lily?" "Oh, I heard my dad talking. He said that Old Park was once connected to other places in the town." She explained, her eyes bright with excitement. "He said they could be used to hide." A ripple of laughter swept through the audience again before a tone of seriousness settled over them. Secret tunnels. Jack felt a spark of inspiration flicker to life. "That's right." He chimed in, eager to keep the momentum. "Why can't we explore all the aspects of this park? The hidden stories. The dreams embedded beneath every tree and swing." A murmur of agreement filled the space. People began exchanging excited glances, with some even raising their hands to share their own memories of the park, stories of late-night hide-and-seek or the time a dog chased off a raccoon from a picnic. The couple at the door had not shifted their expressions. They seemed to absorb the light and laughter like stones, unyielding and cold. Whispers about the secret tunnels swirled, transforming into ideas for a community treasure hunt, a way to celebrate their history and demonstrate the park's value by uncovering forgotten tales and hidden gems. As the laughter grew and stories flowed like a river, Jack felt a swell of love surround him. But that fear gnawed at the edges. What could the couple possibly do in response? Would they try to close the park entirely? The thought pounded in his chest like a drum, heavy and insistent. "Okay, folks," he said, raising his voice. "We're unearthing more than just memories here. We're building our future on them. Tell everyone about our vision. The park isn't just about today, it's about every tomorrow. We need to hold tight to that." And just as unity reached its zenith, a sharp voice cut through the noise, direct and accusing. "You're wasting your time." It was one of the couple, stepping into the light. "Do you really think these stories will save your precious park?" Silence fell over the crowd. All eyes turned to the couple, tension thickening the air. Jack's heart raced. The moment was upon them. Could they twist this energy into something stronger? What awaited them now that the challenge had been laid bare? "Meet us here tomorrow if you dare," Jack said, his voice steady despite the fear creeping in. As defiance filled the space, he knew the fight was just beginning. What lay ahead could either be their salvation or their undoing. The crowd vibrated with a mixture of shock and anger at the couple's taunt. Jack's heart pounded as a chill swept through the area. Was this how opposition felt? In that electrifying moment of demand, the stakes felt higher than ever before. He glanced around. Faces that had been buoyed by hope now showed uncertainty, brows furrowed and lips pressed tight. "Don't listen to them," Harold yelled, raising his arms to rally the audience back. "This park is ours. We'll fight for what we love." The people surged forward, a wave of energy sparked by his words. But Jack could see some of the light dim from others. His gut twisted. Would tomorrow be the showdown they feared, or could it spark something even greater? "I need a moment," Jack muttered to Harold, moving away from the pulsating crowd. He walked toward the nearest park bench, a familiar place where he had spent many lazy afternoons contemplating life alongside a friend. Sitting down, he rubbed his temples. Why did battles always leave him feeling so conflicted? He cared deeply for the park, but every challenge exposed a vulnerability he didn't want to face. The distant murmur of voices brought him back. He saw families lingering, debating quietly. Children pulled on their mother's sleeves while men exchanged conspiratorial glances. In that moment, Jack realized he was not alone in this struggle. They all wanted the same thing: to create a healthier, happier community. Just then, Lily trotted over, a bouquet of dandelions clutched tightly in her little fist. "For you, Jack," she said, her face glowing. Jack dropped his defenses and smiled. "Thank you, Lil." He took the flowers carefully, gently running his fingers over their vibrant yellow heads. It was the small gestures that could spark big change. "Will we win?" she asked, her voice earnest and full of conviction. Jack knelt down and looked into her bright eyes. "We will give it everything we have, Lily. And sometimes, just believing in something is the first step." She nodded, confidence radiating from her tiny frame. "Let us find those tunnels. Maybe they have treasure." Jack chuckled. "Yes. Treasure it is." He felt a warmth spreading in his chest. The tunnels could symbolize many things: hope, mystery, and potential. Maybe they could uncover not just secrets, but connections that rooted everyone to this park. That he stood and turned back to the crowd, feeling their energy pulsate once again. "How many of you are in for a treasure hunt tomorrow?" Jack called out, raising the dandelions like a trophy. "Count me in," yelled a nearby parent. Others started to cheer, raising their hands, excited at the prospect of a community-driven adventure. "What if we found the mystery behind those tunnels?" Jack posed, his voice rising in fervor. "We'll show that couple we've got stories worth celebrating. We'll prove how much this park really means to us." Cheers erupted, laughter mingling with shouts of agreement. The fear that had wrapped around their hearts began to loosen, transforming into determination and excitement, but at that moment, from the shadows, the couple watched with dark expressions. "This is not over," the woman said, her voice low and chilling. "You'll regret that challenge." As the crowd buzzed around him, Jack could feel the weight of their resolve pressing onward. They needed to prepare, not just for a treasure hunt but for a confrontation that could alter everything they cherished. This was more than just about a park now, it was about community, unity, and standing against those who sought to divide. Tomorrow is just the beginning, Jack thought as he looked at the faces rallying around him. A sense of urgency coursed through him. What hidden truths lay waiting to be discovered? What secrets would they uncover in the depths of the park that could turn the tide for them? The clock was ticking, and the next day loomed closer, promising a collision of hearts, histories, and stakes higher than ever. Would they be ready to face whatever awaited them in the shadow of the tunnels? The sun peeked over the horizon, casting golden rays through the branches of the towering trees that lined the park. Jack woke with a mix of excitement and anxiety swirling in his chest. Today held the potential for change. The treasure hunt that sparked the crowd's enthusiasm felt like more than just an adventure, it was a chance to uncover deep connections among neighbors, friends, and families. After breakfast, he gathered a few supplies, a flashlight, a notebook, and, of course, Lily's bouquet of dandelions. They would serve as a reminder of hope among the uncertainty. As he stepped outside, he found the air crisp and filled with possibility. He joined Harold, who was already at the park, organizing the crowd. "Are you ready for this?" Harold asked, eyes gleaming with determination. "More than ready," Jack replied, though he couldn't shake the weight in his gut. Was this enthusiasm enough to hold against the couple lurking in the background? As more families trickled in, Jack felt the energy lift. Kids dashed to the open space, their laughter ringing through the park. Adults exchanged waves and smiles, reminding Jack that community was built on more than just battles. It was moments like these that stitched their lives together. "All right," Harold shouted, "let us gather around. The treasure hunt will begin shortly." The crowd quickly gathered, excitement bubbling under the surface. Jack stood beside Harold, his heart racing as he tried to channel the crowd's energy into something powerful. "Today, we're not just searching for tunnels," he began, finding his voice. "We're searching for our shared stories, memories that connect us all. Who knows what secrets this park holds?" The audience leaned in closer, anticipation glimmering in their eyes. With a sudden burst of spontaneity, Jack gestured toward a cluster of trees. "Let us start there. Look for anything that appears unusual, roots exposed, a strange rock, or even a forgotten path." The crowd broke into small groups, their hands eager to uncover the mystery. Jack and Lily wandered toward a grassy clearing just beyond the picnic tables. It felt rich with history, the scent of fresh earth wrapping around them like a comforting blanket. "Do you think we'll find treasure, Jack?" Lily asked, her eyes wide and sparkling. "Absolutely," he smiled. "But remember, it's not just about the treasure itself. It's about what we discover together." Hours passed as the hunt continued, filled with searching, laughter, and unexpected discoveries. A hidden swing beneath the branches, a mural of painted stones, and even a family of squirrels chattering at their antics. Each discovery ignited stories, tales of past picnics, of laughter, of love that made this park special. But just when Jack thought hope was sweeping through the group, a shadow crossed over the clearing. The couple had returned, their presence a cold gust that stilled the laughter like a sudden storm. "Don't get too comfortable," the woman sneered, her tone piercing through the joy in the air. "You think these childish games will scare us away?" Jack's heart thundered in his chest. Could this be the turning point they feared? Would their treasure hunt become a battlefield? He felt his resolve strengthen, but doubt flickered at the edges of his mind. Would they truly be able to protect what they loved, or was this just the beginning of a much greater fight? Lily tugged at his sleeve, breaking his focus. "Jack, we need to show them we're strong together. Right?" "Yes, Lil," he whispered, his voice steadying. But in his heart, he knew something crucial awaited, something that could decide the fate of the park. As tension mounted, he glanced around, catching glimpses of worry and anger on the faces surrounding him. How could they turn the tide? What unexpected revelations lay ahead as they faced off against the couple? The answer could be the key to their survival, both of the park and their unity. Jack took a deep breath, feeling the weight of everyone's hopes. Tomorrow would deliver more than they anticipated. But, even now, the truth lay just below the surface, waiting to come to light. Was the greatest treasure still hidden in the tunnels, or had it already begun to reveal itself in the lessons of community and resilience? Jack's heartbeat thundered in his ears, drowning out the world around him. The laughter that had filled the air moments ago had turned into whispers of uncertainty as the couple loomed over the crowd. Their eyes held an unsettling mixture of contempt and entitlement, like storm clouds ready to unleash a downpour. Lily looked up at him, her face reflecting both fear and determination. "What do we do now?" she whispered, her grip tightening on the bouquet of dandelions. "We stand together," Jack replied with more conviction than he felt. "This park is ours." Harold stepped forward, his voice steady. "We're here to celebrate our community. We won't let anyone take that away from us." The crowd murmured in agreement, nodding slowly, their courage sparking like embers in the wind. The woman scoffed, her manicured nails tapping against her arm. "A community, huh? It looks more like a bunch of kids playing dress-up. You really think this little treasure hunt will save your precious park? You have no idea what this place means to us," Jack stated, stepping forward, emboldened by Harold's words. "These trees have seen laughter, tears, and stories that go back generations. This park isn't just land, it's a living testament to our lives." "Sentimental garbage," the man beside her snapped, crossing his arms defiantly. But beneath his bravado, Jack sensed hesitation. Perhaps their commitment to claiming the park wasn't as solid as they had projected. Jack took a deep breath, scanning the crowd. Familiar faces stared back at him, each of them holding a piece of this park's legacy. "Let us show them what we mean. Not with anger, but with our stories. We have so much to share." Harold nodded, stepping back to allow Jack the floor. "Who wants to go first?" he called out, gesturing to the cluster of neighbors. A woman from the back stepped up, her voice trembling but clear. "I brought my kids here every summer. We've had picnics under those trees for years. It's where we built our family traditions." As she spoke, others chimed in, each bit a thread weaving a tapestry of connection. Tales of childhood adventures, friendships forged, and memories made poured into the space. With each story, the tension lightened, replaced by the warmth of empathy and understanding. Jack could see the couple's expressions change. They shifted under the weight of stories, unable to withstand the tide of shared experiences that filled the air. Little by little, the atmosphere shifted. Laughter returned, merging with the solidarity of the community. Children played again, darting between legs as parents exchanged glances filled with unspoken promises to protect their beloved park. Finally, Lily couldn't hold back any longer. She stepped forward, her dandelions held high. "This is where I come to dream and play. You can't take that away from us." Her voice carried, youthful innocence mixing with fierce determination. Jack felt a swell of pride. This was what community meant: the willingness to fight for one another, to stand firm against adversity. The warmth of togetherness wrapped around him, a protective barrier against the doubts and fears that had crept in. The couple looked at each other, their bravado beginning to crack. Jack could see their confidence falter as the stories flooded them, washing over their harsh words like a gentle tide. "Enough." The woman finally spat, her frustration bubbling to the surface. "This doesn't end here. We'll be back." As they turned to leave, Jack felt the collective breath of the crowd release in unison. The battle wasn't over, but today, they had won a crucial moment. Jack looked down at Lily, her bright eyes reflecting hope. "Did we really do it?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "For now," he replied, realizing that their greatest treasure wasn't buried under the ground but alive in their stories. The real challenge loomed ahead, and they needed to be ready to face it. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting an array of colors over the park, Jack felt a stirring of hope. Perhaps together, they could uncover even deeper truths about their community, truths that would guide them in the days to come. But as the shadows grew longer, an unsettling thought crept into his mind. What secrets lay hidden in the tunnels of the park, waiting to be unearthed? Tomorrow would reveal more than they anticipated if they dared to dig deeper. The next morning arrived, and with it, a crisp energy filled the air. Jack awoke determined. The sun streamed through the window, breaking the night's calm and whispering promises of hope. He glanced at Lily, still asleep beside him, her tiny hand clutching the dandelions from yesterday. It was time to step up. As he got dressed, Jack tried to shake the lingering doubts. The couple from the day before loomed large in his mind. Were they serious? Could they really come back? He couldn't let fear overshadow the momentum they had created. He knew they needed to excavate not only the park's hidden treasures but also the stories that bound them all together. After a quick breakfast, Jack and Lily set off with Harold and a small group of neighbors, their feet crunching on the gravel path leading to the old willow tree. It was the heart of the park, a living testament to everything they cherished. "Let us meet here," Harold suggested. "I have an idea." "An idea?" Lily asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Yes," Harold said, "let's organize a community dig. Not just for treasures but for memories. Let us see what we can uncover together." With the group's support, Jack felt a surge of energy. Soon, they gathered tools, shovels, buckets, and a few old lanterns. As they made their way to the willow, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that they were about to uncover something significant. Once under the sprawling branches, the atmosphere shifted. People began to dig, some sharing their own memories as they sifted through the dirt, hoping to find remnants of the past. "Look!" shouted an older man. "I found an old toy car." Laughter erupted from a nearby group, igniting curiosity. Jack knelt beside Lily, who had unearthed a rusted box. "What's in there?" she asked, eyes wide with wonder. They opened it carefully, revealing faded photographs and brittle letters tied with a simple ribbon. Jack's heart swelled. These were personal histories that had floated in the air like leaves for too long. Harold gathered everyone around as they carefully unfolded the letters. "These are love letters," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "From two people who once loved each other under this very tree." The crowd leaned in, captivated. As they listened to the words, heartfelt confessions, promises, and dreams, Jack saw emotion dance across many faces. Tears formed in the corner of eyes, confirming the power of connection. This was more than just a park, it was a sanctuary of stories, a repository of love. Lily turned to Jack, a thoughtful look on her face. "What if we put those back, just like they were? So others can find them one day." He grinned, a wave of affection sweeping over him. "That's a brilliant idea." The group agreed, deciding to clear a spot nearby under the willow where they would bury the letters again, adding their own dreams and wishes to the collection. This was their way of fortifying the community bond, solidifying their promise to protect the park and the memories it held. As they worked together, patching the earth like a quilt, Jack felt a mounting sense of relief. They were planting seeds of unity, of hope, and of love. But just then, a shadow fell over the gathering. The couple from the day before appeared at the edge of the park, their expressions set like stone. Lily whispered, "Do you think they came back to fight us?" Jack felt his heart sink. "I don't know," he replied, uncertainty creeping in. In that moment, it dawned on him today's discoveries were just the beginning. Would their courage be enough to face whatever the couple had planned? The tension thickened in the air. Everything they'd built was at stake once more, and Jack knew that a choice lay before them, a choice that could alter the future of their cherished park forever. The morning sun burst through the trees, arching its golden rays over the park as Jack stood beside the freshly dug ground, heart racing. The treasures they'd uncovered, the love letters and the shared stories created a new foundation for the community, yet the shadows of doubt loomed like storm clouds behind him. The couple who threatened their legacy was back, tension crackling in the air amid the echo of laughter and shared history. "What do you want?" Jack's voice rang out, steadying his resolve. The couple advanced slowly, expressions carved in stone, yet there was an edge in their demeanor. Jack felt the crowd tense beside him. Lily's little hand squeezed his, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fierce determination. The woman spoke first, her tone sharp. "This charade is childish. Nostalgia won't save you from reality. We're here for business, and you're wasting everyone's time." Jack's heart beat against his ribs. "These memories are the bedrock of our community. You think you can just buy and sell what isn't yours to own? This place is filled with love, families, and histories tied together by the very land." The man stepped forward, voice drenched in arrogance. "Love doesn't pay the bills. You need to understand, there are smarter investments than this rundown park." Jack felt the anger bubbling inside him. His community's fight wasn't about money. It was about heart. "Then let me remind you, we're not just fighting for a park. We're protecting our heritage, our families, our dreams. Together, we're stronger than your wallet." The townsfolk behind him stirred, their courage rising in waves. Jack could see the warmth in their expressions, the strength forming like roots digging deep into the soil. Harold stepped up beside him, commanding attention. "Enough of this. You're here to challenge us, but we are here out of love for our home. This park is our past, and it's our future. It has seen generations. We refuse to let it be erased." The couple blinked, surprise flickering across their faces, quickly replaced by disdain. "You'll regret this," the woman spat, but Jack felt her confidence wane. Lily squeezed Jack's hand harder, oblivious to the tension but embodying innocence. "We're not scared," she declared, and her voice all conviction pierced the rising dread. Jack knelt and looked into her wide eyes, desperately trying to channel strength into this moment. "You're right, sweet pea. We're strong. Together." He turned back to face the crowd, feeling the unity coursing through him. "Let us show them exactly what we're made of." With a collective shout, the townspeople rallied around Jack and Lily. Each old friend and neighbor stepped forth, voices harmonizing like a choir of resilience. "Our memories. Our park." They cried, their words swelling around them like a protective shield. The couple exchanged glances, their airs of superiority diminishing with every united cheer. Slowly, the woman's expression shifted. "You can't actually believe you'll keep this place against all odds." But Jack had found his voice, a powerful swell of history and hope. "We are the odds," he said firmly. "We are not alone. Besides, together, we can build anything." As laughter and voices intermingled around him, their energy palpable, he took another step forward, determination fueling his movements. "If you want to fight us, you better be ready for the fight of your lives. While you see dollars, we see the hearts of a community needing protection. This is our promise to keep it alive, to nourish it together." The couple's confidence faltered further as the collective spirit of the crowd enveloped them, some bearing homemade signs, others holding hands, reminding Jack of the bonds they all held dear. The emotions swirling in the air felt almost electric as they surrounded the couple, no longer an encroaching threat but instead, shadows receding in fear of their will. Then, with a quick glance, the couple turned and retreated, their footsteps echoing against the evolving spirit behind them, leaving Jack and his neighbors in a triumphant roar of unity. "Did we win?" Lily whispered, her voice soft but hopeful, peeking up to Jack, her little fingers still clutching the dandelions. Jack knelt down, his heart swelling with pride and love. "For today, we did," he breathed, pulling her into a warm embrace. "Together, we showed them how strong we are." Cheers erupted from the crowd, wrapping around Jack and Lily like a warm blanket. They began to dance amidst the treasures unearthed, the letters, the stories, the shared history of love, laughter, and resilience. Families embraced, children ran free, and in that moment, the park thrummed with life, its spirit unbroken and bright. As the sun dipped low, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Jack looked around at the faces that mattered most. They were community, family, and love, a treasure greater than any land could hold. They had conquered today, but he felt a whisper of hope. This fight wasn't merely about keeping the park alive, it was a promise to ensure that the love embedded in every sacred space would never fade away. Energized and inspired, he faced the horizon, resolute. The battle wasn't over, but this small spark of victory was their beacon. What remained unexamined in the park and in their hearts could guide them through futures yet to be written. Reclaiming their dreams had begun, and with every step forward, Jack felt the pulse of determination reverberate through him, deep and unwavering. And now, dear friends, this is where your journey continues. You need to subscribe immediately to this channel to not miss our next exclusive stories of resilience and transformations. This is the moment to show your support. Make sure to leave a like now to feed the algorithm, and comment your feelings about how Jack and the town fought back. Don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation. Stand with community and love. Your support makes all the difference.